Breeding, feeding, and training are three basic aspects of raising pigeons, of which selecting breeders is the most important. The view of Philip is to measure one pigeon is good or not depends on the previous results it got and in which kind of conditions these results were gotten. The best pigeons are the ones which can perform prominently under all kinds of weather conditions and occasions.
When you hand one pigeon, the first impression it gives to you already decides the quality of this pigeon. Then let's talk about the eyes. What to emphasize is that the fanciers who only see the eyes are totally crazy. The fanciers who don't see the eyes at all are also totally crazy. We all know that the eyes of the pigeon are very important. The color of the pigeon's eyes is nothing special, but we can see the pigeon's intention from their eyes. For example, what you can see from the champion pigeons is the faith and will of winning. We can also see whether the pigeon is healthy or not from these eyes. The next step is to see the degree of balance of the pigeons. The imbalanced pigeons will drop down from the sky. The body type of the pigeons I like is like a boat. The front part is wide and the back part is thin, and the feathers must be soft. The pigeon with problems on the wings is completely useless. When you open the wings of pigeons, you put your hand between the rings and the body. If 4 fingers are allowed to be put in this gap, you should throw away this pigeon right away. If the gap is very small, then this is a good sign. When facing to the open wings, you can try to get your fingers through the feather. If it is very easy to pass through the feathers, it means that the pigeon is also not good because the feathers are not plump or thick enough, and the pigeon cannot fly fast since the wind passes through its wings. It does not have enough strength to push down the air. The muscles of the pigeons are also very important. This is the whole process of how to see a pigeon. Well, what is the most important for a good pigeon? Is it the things inside of the pigeon's brain? But we cannot see what's inside, so what can we do? We can see from their pedigrees, from the heredity of their parents and grandparents. For a champion pigeon, the pure outstanding's origin it has, the more chances that it is later generations will get the excellent genes. When I select one pigeon, I see the pedigree after seeing the pigeon. If everything satisfies my request, then I will introduce it into my breeding loft. If one pigeon only meets my standards, 75% instead of 100%, but I am very satisfied with its origin, then I will also accept it and try and breed it.
In order to let the pigeons win in the competitions, a scientific breeding system is the key to success. All the members of family Herbots work hard to take good care of the pigeons. They get up very early in the morning to clean, feed pigeons, and check their conditions. The children also come to help during the day. Herbots do a lot of work to let the pigeons always keep in a healthy condition. To keep the lofts clean is a must. They also give the pigeons various vaccinations annually and regular medical examinations. It is also requisite to add nutrients such as multiple vitamins, minerals, and drugs in the pigeon's food. And besides, they also have a secret method. They put proper quantities of apple vinegar in the drinking water for the pigeons every half month in order to raise the acidity level of the pigeons, because many harmful bacteria cannot live in the acidic environment. In addition, the feeding is strictly controlled and the food is carefully selected.
In order to have a good racing pigeon, 70% depends on its good origin and 30% depends on the management. And the management depends on the fanciers themselves. A high-level pigeon fancier must have very sharp eyes and is able to see at any time each subtle change in the pigeons. They should know in advance that the pigeons are probably going to be sick before the symptoms are performed out. The fancier should have a regular schedule of managing their pigeons. They should let the pigeons have a fixed living habits. Let them know what to do at which hour. If the management is not regular, then the pigeons will be on the clock confusion. To control the quantity of pigeons in the loft is also very important. We don't talk about the breeders here, but the quantity of the racing pigeons you have depends on your ability. If you are busy with your work and you have limited spare time for pigeons, then you have to raise less pigeons. For instance, if you only have time to take care of 20 pigeons, then you should only raise 20 racing pigeons. If you have more time, then you can raise more pigeons. How many pigeons you have depends on your time, but don't raise too many racing pigeons. In the beginning of April, all the young birds which will participate in the races can already be trained around the loft.
Darkness system can be used to control the molting time of young birds so that the pigeons can grow much stronger. Young birds normally molt during June, July, and August. If we let them change their feathers during this period, then the pigeons will be hard to get good results in the races. This is because that molting consumes a lot of energy of pigeons, and you cannot give the pigeons high-intensity training during this period. So we do some appropriate adjustments to postpone the molting period of pigeons. The operation of darkness system is that you must ensure the pigeons to stay 14 hours every day in the dark. For example, the day is dawn at 6 o'clock and gets dark at 7 o'clock.
So, you could better cover the windows and the doors of the loft before 18 hours to keep the loft dark. More than 12 hours of darkness every day in the loft is enough. Thus, the molting period is controlled and the young birds will not change their feathers.
The nutrition of the pigeons will help the growth of pigeons' muscles and bones, so the pigeons will look like as big as 12 months after only 6 months of growth. This method can help pigeons grow rapidly. This is the same as the way of growing flowers. Flowers grow faster in the dark environment. Many people say after the darkness system, the rate of losing pigeons is getting bigger. I did also consider why this may happen. The normal darkness system starts at 6 o'clock in the evening and finishes at 7 o'clock in the morning. I think there is a disadvantage system, so I made a little change. I closed the windows and doors at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to put the pigeons in darkness when the day gets dark naturally. I opened the doors and windows. There are two advantages of doing this. First, the air in the lofts is better during the night. Second, the day is dawn naturally. The pigeons also wake up naturally, so they are very close to nature. Then there will be less pigeons lost since they are used to the daybreak. According to my experience, the young birds will be in top condition in 6 weeks after the darkness system steps. The training of Herbart's pigeons starts from the basic home training. Each day the pigeons fly once in the morning and once in the afternoon. They firstly train the old cocks and the old hens, and finally the young pigeons. The training is about 1 hour for each group. The pigeons must come back into the lofts immediately after flying. Especially for the widowhood hens, they are not allowed to stay 1 second out of the loft in case of pairing. From the point of flip, too much home training is not good. The pigeons should fly outside for a period and then come back, so as to enhance the awareness of homing. The quality of the flight is also very important. The training starts from 10 kilometers to 30 kilometers to 50 to 80 and 100 kilometers. And the training of 400 kilometers starts in April. Herbart's pigeons have to undergo more than 10 times of a race from 203 to 570 kilometers in 1 year. The total mileage is up to 7,000 kilometers. After the rest in winter, we should enhance the pigeon's condition step by step. One pigeon is only in top condition for 10 weeks per year. For example, the racing season has 20 weeks. So how to control the pigeons to be in top condition in 10 of these weeks? You can make your pigeons to be in top condition in a certain race which you think is the most important. I have 4 racing pigeon lofts, and I make a training plan for each of them. The pigeons in the first loft are in top condition in June after training.
The pigeons in the second loft are in top condition in July, and so on. By this kind of adjustment, you can make sure that you always have pigeons in top condition during the whole racing season. About the training, apart from the flying around loft 1 hour respectively in the morning and in the afternoon, I also give the pigeons short distance trainings, which are from 40 kilometers to 50 kilometers. The races for the pigeons are as same as the ones for athletes. We all know that the athletes always do more warm-up training before the races in order to improve their results, as well as pigeons. The more we train the pigeons, the more possibilities they will get better results. And of course, the pigeons must be fed very well during the races for the purpose of keeping their bodies with enough energy. What is also important is that we take the pigeons to the vet 3 weeks before the races. It is not necessary to take all of the pigeons, but only 3 or 4. But the vet does the basic check to see if the pigeons have disease. 5 days before the race, I always give the pigeons one time prevention against trichomonad. 6 or 7 weeks before the race, it should be noted if the pigeons are getting thinner. If yes, then we must give the pigeons treatments against ascarid. To become a good fancier, you must have acute eyes. You must pay attention to the condition of the pigeons at all time, and see whether they will get problems. The first thing when the fancier enters into the loft is to check the pigeons' eating condition, but not to clean. And you must notice if the pigeons are happy when they are eating. If you hear the sound when they are eating happily, it is 95% the pigeons are healthy. If the pigeon eats very slowly and quietly, then you must be careful. Perhaps they are about to be sick. To make your pigeon in top condition before the most important race is your goal. You must know exactly in the time of the race, then draw up a plan on how to adjust the pigeon's condition. Except for training, feeding is also important for the pigeon's condition. Normally the food we feed the pigeon consists 60% diet food and 40% sport food. But the last 4 meals before basketing, we must give them 100% sports food. There is no doubt that every fancier has good pigeons. However, good pigeons need good training, good treatment, and good food. It is also very important to give pigeons vitamins during the racing season. At the beginning of the racing season, it's not necessary to give pigeons too much vitamins, but slowly increase their quantity. For instance, if you want to participate in the race of 400 kilometers, before the race you should increase the quantity of vitamins slowly, but not increase to the full quantity of 100% immediately.